Coming up on this episode of Free Lunch. I'm a grab. I got I got a note card over here, index card and a pen. I'm gonna write that down.
So what you're really saying is, I'm not good until you praise me.
Wow. All your Facebook friends, you like, why I got 5,000 Facebook friends, and every time I post something, somebody to support, I get 3 people to like it. Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy, Freestyle Gospel, aka The Real Free, with another episode of Free Lunch with The Real Free. It's free food for your soul. I got a special guest today here to help all of you been figuring out, trying to figure out how to get your word out there, your message out there on social media. Yo, this man is the truth. He's gonna help us both out because I know I need it. I can use it. Shoot, if nobody else, I'm gonna use his tips. So stay tuned for that. This episode, we're gonna be just doing a quick check-in. We still hanging in there tough, y'all, with the COVID-19 situation, our social distancing. I hope y'all ain't letting it get to you. Hope y'all ain't fighting with your loved ones in the house trapped in. We're gonna be chopping it about just do's and don'ts when it comes to just your vision. Whatever it is you feel like God gave to you, what are the do's and don'ts when it comes to not getting support that you want, support that you need? I mean, are y'all making it allowing it to get you salty? I mean, I hope it's motivating you, but we're going to chop it up about some do's and don'ts. And then lastly, but not least, what we need to be doing, what we need to be looking at when it comes to this whole like Instagram thing. That's my biggest thing. I mean, there's Facebook, there's Twitter, there's Instagram. I'm trying to figure out this Instagram situation, y'all. So I got an Instagram strategist ready to chop it up. It's Free Lunch with The Real Free. Free food for your soul. My special guest is on the line, my boy LV. Talk to him, LV.
Yo, what's good, man? How you doing?
I am doing phenomenal, man. I'm hanging in there trying to make sure I don't pull my hair out. My beard situation looking crazy right now because the barbershop closed.
Dude, I'm right there with you. I'm looking like She-Man. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking like how women look when they don't get their hair. That's the she part. And then I'm looking like a man because it's beard life, right? So as the women got their hair looking crazy, that's how my beard is looking.
Man, and it's funny because I've been trying. I had the patchy beard problem for like a minute. And so I was like, I'm going to keep my beard. I'm not going to cut it. I'm going to try to be disciplined and fight through the patches. And now look, now I ain't got a choice but to fight through the patches. But it's looking good though. I'm proud of myself. I might when the barber's open, I'm gonna be like, I'm good, man. Leave my beard alone.
Exactly. Just line me up, bro. Don't even touch anything else. Just line me up.
That's it, man. I've been blessed because nobody in the family has been sick, bro. I think the closest this whole COVID situation has gotten to my family is I have like a close friend of my father's that I call my uncle. And he was recently in the ICU, and I got word yesterday that he got out of ICU. So I've been blessed, man. Our whole family has been blessed, man. What about you?
I had a cousin pass away due to COVID-19. I had a classmate so far. I had someone who's part of the local entrepreneurial community here because I'm in Flint, Michigan. So I've seen people pass away. I've seen friends, like people I know, have COVID but have recovered. Mm-hmm. So it's a real thing for me, man. And I tell the truth on myself. I was one of those non-believers. I'm like, it's not that deep. You know what I mean? Yeah. This is just propaganda. Because I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but I kind of had that rhetoric behind it. But it's a real thing, man. People are losing their lives, and it's a blessing for us who have not had it or going through it. But it's definitely a time to be prayerful and grieve as other people grieve.
Yeah,
and to be a shoulder for them. But it's real.
Yeah, man. I'm like I said, my wife included, we've been, every time we go on Facebook or social media, man, we see somebody else's posts like pray for my family. So, I kind of shared some of the similar, just like kind of non-believer suspect feelings as you, man. But the more and more, man, we just, every time we go online, it's like somebody else that we know. It really has. It's made me. The impact it's had on me is to really be grateful and appreciate one, just the life that we have and enjoy, from day to day, or the health that we enjoy day to day, and then being inside, you know, quarantining, self quarantining. It's allowed me to appreciate just my family and our home, and kind of get back to some basic things like that.
Yeah, man. This has been for me as a believer. This has been the greatest time of my life as a Christian. Like, I can't recall any amount of time I've had with God that was better than this.
Wow. Yo, I think I might have said the same phrase to my wife. I said, my devotion time in the morning has never been this consistent. And like every morning, I'm like, it's to the point where my wife had to adjust, because before I even greet my wife in the morning, even say good morning to her, I'm like, I got to go talk to God first. And then I greet the rest of my family. But I've been just blessed by just the consistency in my devotion. Like, and that's been something that I struggled with in the past, just trying to find time. I'm busy running around trying to do this show, busy around trying to do this. I'm working on this. And this freeze that has happened upon our entire world, yo, you could use it to be something that incites fear in you and draws you further from God, or it be a tool that you allow God to use in your life that draws you closer to Him, man.
Yeah, I mean, that's in life. That's only two ways to go. Either you're going towards Him or you're not. And I think forcing us to be stuck in a house to something because it's an invisible issue, right? You can't see it, you can't detect it, you don't know, right? Yeah. So at the end of the day, it's forcing us to get back to what's important.
Yeah.
And that devotional time, man, just worshiping and praying, fasting. This is an awesome time to fast, and you still got time. And even if you're listening to this after COVID, you still have time to do these things. So you see how easy it can be now to say, I really don't need to do that. That's really not important. You know what I mean? Answering every phone call is not important. You know what I mean? Going everywhere and getting nothing done is not important, right? So I think this is a good reset for everybody, whether you're a believer or not.
Yeah, no, definitely. So, one of the things that have always habitually kept me tied up and not really finding the time, whether consistently for, God, or time for my family, or very just important things to us, has been whether it's my music, poetry, speaking engagement, just my branding and social media management, marketing. All those things have been things that I've been involved in, that's kept me a measure of busy, quote unquote. To that point, I've had to learn how to give each thing, its own priority. So the COVID has done kind of this dual thing. It's allowed me both the time and being stuck to prioritize my time, first to God, and then it's given me that time with my family, and then it's given me also time to be more sober in mind, or focused, or organized, whatever you want to call it, with my branding or marketing, because I'm doing it all on my own. So I can appreciate that, because it's like it's an opportunity for all things, not just things of God or things of our family. It's, you got people popping up new business ideas just be out of the spirit of people needing face masks now. Like, it's an opportunity that this has presented itself for, just as you said, whether you're a believer or non-believer, for you to basically get yourself right.
Yes. I think this is a good opportunity. It's a hard reset, right? You didn't see it coming, and you have to adhere to it, or you're gonna, put yourself at risk or someone at risk. So, this is the perfect time to become innovative. During these moments in the history of humanity, this is where innovation is birthed. Mm-hmm. This is where, some of the greatest advancements in technology has been birthed out. Here's where some, now, again, here's what I think is going to happen. and I know you didn't ask this, but I'm gonna share it anyway. I think what's gonna happen moving forward is that we're gonna say what's important and what's not important. You know what I mean? What used to be a meeting at the office can be a Zoom call. You know,
Definitely.
working from home can be more real and sustainable.
Yeah.
You're going to find out, unless you're riddled with anxiety to get back out there, right?
Yeah.
Now, if you like, I just got to get back out there, I got to get back out there. Like, yeah, I don't have to come to your house. We can Zoom. Like, what we've been doing has sufficed.
Yeah.
So I think what's going to happen is things are just going to be different. Life is not going to be the same. I think people are not going to go out to eat as much. I think people are going to start looking at their spending, and not just your money, but your time, your energy, and your effort. I mean, it has just changed the game immensely for us to get back to the basics. I think what's really going to be a surprise for people, and this is just me forecasting, I think you're going to start seeing a lot of home gardening. You're going to start seeing, self-sufficient.
Yeah.
Being self-sufficient in everything. You're going to start seeing ways to, not depend on people or depend on your jobs. I think saving money is going to be a huge thing. So I think we're going to get back to the place where we think we need to be.
And I can't wait for it. True. I've been trying to get back to a bunch of basics. So I'm going to take advantage, man. For all those, who are trying to, in this time, take advantage as it pertains to just new vision, new entrepreneur ventures, and those that are already established, we all want it to be supported. That's a thing that I think is across the board, whether you're Christian, non-Christian, Muslim, atheist, whatever. Everybody wants to have support. And support might come in granted a different form now because of social distancing and people can't really come out to things. Maybe you would have, threw a music release party, or maybe you would have, had a book signing event or something. So people are kind of stuck inside. So support might come in a different form, but nonetheless, we want it. And I want to talk a little bit about just some do's and don'ts when it comes to not feeling like you have the support for your vision or what you feel like you've been called to do on this earth. And, whether that's not feeling like the support from family, friends, your local community, people, all your Facebook friends. You like, why I got 5,000 Facebook friends, and every time I post something, somebody to support, I get 3 people to like it.
Yeah.
So it's like, it could be obviously a really frustrating time, in a new stage, those grassroots phases almost of your vision in your idea, whatever it is you're doing, which I've felt myself. What would you say, LV, man, is like probably the biggest? We'll work on the do front first. When it comes to you trying to stick to and do something you truly believe it's been called for you to do, it's your passion. What are the things to maintain and keep doing, even in the face of not getting the support you want?
So first and foremost, I'm going to answer both at the same time, right?
Okay.
So the main answer to this all is don't look for people to support you.
Don't. Okay.
Don't. Like, the best thing you can do is to operate at a level that and it's a mindset shift, and this is what I do when I coach people with social media. And this is what I have to see that they're willing to do in order for me to work with them, because you can't get results from me if you're not willing to change the way you think. So if you're the person who puts out something on Facebook, Instagram, or whatever, and you're like, why am I not getting, the support I want or deserve? I ask that you check yourself first and foremost. Like, why do you think you should get the results?
Wow.
Like, why do you think you're so good that you should get X amount of likes and followers and engagement? Like, why are you so sweet? Like, what makes you different?
Wow, that's a LV. That's a big pill for some people to swallow. That, man.
If that's a big pill, they may not be able to stomach the rest of what's coming in this pipeline. Because at the end of the day, why are you so sweet? Like, why are you so lucky?
Wow.
And so distinguished that you can think that you can command that type of response from people when you haven't put in the work.
Wow.
So it's this deceptive endowment that people have because they're self-absorbed.
So what is so you said in the beginning though, you said don't expect don't look for support from other people. I mean, are you saying that in a sense of like don't be in expectation of those people's support, or are you saying like in a literal sense like don't go on social media and ask for people's support? Like, are you talking about a mind? You talking about a mindset?
I'm talking about both. Here's the thing. I don't expect anybody to like me. I don't expect anybody to even think what I'm saying is factual. I walk into every situation not caring what people think.
Wow.
I go into every situation not caring about the praise or the criticism. I'm getting better at it. Let me say. I don't want to make it seem like I mastered it, but dude, when you like, for me, my story has been, I was a person who has internalized everything. So I would internalize, why people not supporting me? Why do I support them?
Wow.
I like this stuff. Why they not liking mine?
Yeah.
Because they didn't want to like it, or they may have just didn't see it.
Yo, that's so. It's so plain, stated plainly, and like as a matter of factly. But I feel like that mindset really, as hard as it might be to get to that point, and like you said yourself, you haven't arrived yet. You're still working on it, but it really fortifies you.
Because what happens is you don't get. See, the problem is we relinquish our control to people too much. Right? We allow people to control us. So what you're really saying is, I'm not good until you praise me.
Wow. What? Yo, say that again, yo. What?
What you're saying is, I'm not good enough. I need your validation. I need your praise because I really sincerely don't feel like I'm good enough.
Wow, bro.
So you have a lot of people in the church or whether or not in church. I'm just gonna speak from a faith-based aspect. So we say we're fearfully and wonderfully made, right? We hear that in church. We shout it out. We lift our hands. We dance. We roll around the floor. We shout ba 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 whatever, right? And that's cool. That's cool, right? But if you don't live what you say, are you honest?
Wow.
So the life you live reveals your faith. So these insecurities, these lack of esteem that we operate in confidence is a direct reflection that we don't believe what we say we believe.
Wow.
So if I believe that I'm creating His likeness and His image, He hasn't made a mistake. He doesn't miss, right? Even the things that I think is an insecurity is actually part of what's working together for my good. Then why am I concerned about whether somebody support me?
Yo,
and here's the thing.
Fire.
Why is it that you expect the people who know you to support you when they love and support the you that they know? They don't know the you as an entrepreneur. They don't know the you as an influencer. They don't know the you as a personal brand. They don't know. They know you from eating now layers and drinking coral waters.
Yo, that's great. Yo, that's true. They know the around the way, regular, little Chris. They don't know the real free. Who's the real free?
Right. So then, let's take a page from Jay-Z. Allow me to reintroduce myself.
Yo.
So reintroduce yourself to these people on your social media as this problem solver, not somebody who's trying to get rich, not someone who's trying to become famous. Because the bigger the problem you solve, the more money you make.
Wow. Yo. Man, listen. If we gotta get that mindset, not for just what the value that lies in it for, projecting our, vision or brand forward, but simply for protecting ourselves. Like it's something to fortify and protect your mind, and without that part of you inside that feels and totally believes that you're more than a conqueror or you already got the victory, and all the rhetoric that we're used to spewing but only halfway partially believe. If you can't get that mindset, man, look, in the spirit of all the believers out there, all the Christians, as a man thinketh, so is he. So if you that powerful, just breathtaking statement you made, LV, earlier, man, is if you need someone else's like or support in order to convince yourself that you're good enough or that you're on the right track or this is the thing that you should be doing. Oh man, we need a whole reset, whole renewal of the mind. My God.
Yeah, get saved again, right? Go back to
Yo.
the cross, because the Bible says that you are, as in Colossians, I believe, the chapter 1, where it says that He sees you blameless. He sees you whole, blameless, and above reproach. So think about this. If I start living from that truth,
Wow.
living from that, that's my starting point, not the finish line. Man, that's the Holy Ghost right there. That just helps somebody.
Wow.
Live from the starting line, not the finish line. So I live from the start that I'm already dope.
Wow.
I'm not trying to become dope. I'm already dope, right? Because if you're made in His likeness and His image, right? Genesis 1:26, I believe, 1:26 or 1:28. Somewhere in there, first Genesis, right? Genesis,
I'm sorry. I gotta run that back, man. He said, I'm not trying to become dope. That's for everybody listening right now, man. Listen, don't get caught up in trying to become dope. You have to accept, believe, off the rip, I am dope. That sounds like a t-shirt, LV. I'm sorry.
Hey, I want you to make it. Send me a extra large, and I'll rock that boy, man. I'll be a brand ambassador for anybody who makes that shirt. But I want people to really understand, like, man, the reason, and this is what the value of working with someone like me as a consultation or your coach with your social media, because I'm not only tapping into what you put out on the internet, I'm tapping into who you are on the inside. And it's my mission to use this thing called social media or the marketplace, but to really minister to you and let you know that, man, you're more than what you think you are, right? There's more to you than a social media post. There's more to you than whether somebody praise you or criticize you. Man, I can care less what somebody think about me. Straight up.
Wow.
Like, there's not a person who I'm like, I wonder what they think about me. There's not. Because at the end of the day, when I pray, I'm praying to God. I'm not praying to them. And when I have been in situations that nobody can get me out of, none of those people were there. Now, God may use people, but I don't use the resource to hide who the source is. So God is going to, whatever He do in the earth realm, He going to do it through a man, right? So I'm not going to use that person and put them on a pedestal. Mm-hmm. I love my pastor. I love my mom, my family and friends. I love them, but I don't love them enough more than I love God. And I'm not going to allow my stinking thinking to get me caught up and get me in the hizzy about social media. Like, why nobody support me? They're not your supporters. If we be honest, the people who we want to support us are not the people who is our target audience.
Wow.
Think about it like this. If your house was on fire, who are you calling?
Fire department.
If your toilet or pipes are clogged, who are you calling?
The plumber.
So why are we asking people to be plumbers when our house is on
fire? What? Yo, that's crazy. We asking for people to be plumbers when the house is on fire? Oh my God. Yo.
I promise you, bro, we do that because we don't understand, we don't have a sense of who we really are. And we don't have an understanding of people being in their right place in our lives. There's people in my life that's there for a reason. There's people there that has become a part of my life for a season. And then there's those people who are a part of my life for a lifetime.
So that's crazy. Because the way I'm even thinking about that analogy you gave, like, you got people that, while your house on fire, hypothetically, right, in this analogy, if your house on fire, you might have a bunch of plumbers who love you to death.
Yes.
But they can't be firefighters though. They're plumbers.
They haven't been trained.
Wow.
They don't have the equipment.
Wow.
They don't have the ability. So this stretches across a lot. Like I said, I can't help you with your social media if I can't help you get out of your own way. When I was in middle school, I got in trouble, and this is going to be, I'm writing a book, so this is going to be in my book. This comes out hopefully sometime this year. It's going to be called Being Social on social media, right? That's my thesis. And I tell the story of when I was in the 7th grade, I got in trouble in middle school, and my mom had to come off her job and come get me, right? And it wasn't super deep. Like, I never got kicked out of school, but I think I got detention and I got a C in a particular class. But I was acting out because, and I'm only guessing that I was acting out because just a couple years prior to that, my dad passed away. So my dad passed away like 2 weeks before my 10th birthday. And, you know, my mom is old school. She like, I don't care what you do at that school. I can handle it after I get off out of work. But do not have them call me and I got to come off my job.
Wow.
Because now you're messing with the money, right? So we know where I'm going with this, right? Yeah. So mom come, we on our way home, and I'm thinking I'm about to get beat. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking I'm about to get punched in the face or something. Like, she never punched me in the face, but I'm just yeah. Like, I know I'm about to get in trouble, right? So we drive, and I'll never forget, like, I can go to the place where she said it, and I heard it. I can stand right there, like where we were in the car, returning into the neighborhood, and she like, you know what? When you get out of your own way, then you'll be successful. And I was like, what?
You was 10 years old when she said this.
Yeah, I was in middle school. I was 7th grade. I remember the school I was at. It was a school I really didn't like, but it was close to the neighborhood. And we had just moved in the neighborhood like a couple years to that. And she said, when you get out of your own way, you'll be successful. So I'm saying to everybody that's listening to this podcast, I want you to understand, once you get out of your own way, things will start to open up to you, and the floodgates that God promised will start ushering into your life. That's why we fast. That's why we pray. That's why we deny ourselves and pick up our cross to follow him. That's why we love not our own life, even unto death. That's why Scripture says more about you not allowing you to get in your own way, because there's a beauty when you get out of your own way. You become a magnet to the best of God. Seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness. None of that scripture, Matthew 6:33 says anything about you until you put something else in front of you as more of a priority, which is God. And then things start being added to you. It's just like a dog. If you got a dog and you're listening to this podcast, you call that dog's name, that dog is running to you every single time, no matter if it's tired, no matter if you're tired, you say, Rover, come here, it comes. Yeah. So when you start operating in a place where you're no longer in your own way, it's like you're saying, Rover, come here. You're saying, debt-free, come here. You're saying, wholeness, come here. You're saying, healthy relationship, come here. You're saying, healthy marriage, come here. You're saying, financial freedom, come here. You start saying, evangelism, come here. Discipleship, come here. Mission, come here. And it starts to attract to you because you're no longer in the way. So if you listen to this podcast, and I know we talk in social media, but I just want to bless somebody. If you're struggling and you're not getting what you call support, or you're not getting what you believe in God for, you're like, man, I've been asking God for this for 5 years. Why I don't have it? Because you're in your own way. And the quicker you get out of your own way and stop making it about you and stop being self-absorbed, I promise you, boo-boo, it's coming your way. Special delivery, because it's already earmarked. Isaiah says it is hidden things with your name on it, hidden treasures with your name on it. You already got more than enough. He says, I'm giving you everything that pertains to life and godliness. Everything is yes and amen. You already have what you need to operate in this earth realm. You just not you in your own way. So that's why people not liking your posts. That's why people not sharing your content. That's why people not commenting, because they can tell, they can sniff it out. It's all about you. Real recognize real, because they want the same thing that you want. And they're like, why should I give it to you? You ain't gave it to me.
Wow. Hey, if you're listening to this podcast right now, make sure you not just go listen and stream on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, but make sure you go and follow the social media page at Free Lunch. It's real easy for you, man. It's at Free Lunch. That's FRII everywhere. Free Lunch, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, at The Real Free. Make sure you subscribe and stay plugged in. Also, if you would like to be a guest, send an email to your boy at freelunch@gmail.com. In the subject line, put guest. Simple as that. So, LV, at the top of the show, I tried to give him a little just blurb or dab about who you are, your specialty, but can you just reintroduce yourself actually to the people, man? Let them know exactly what it is you do, what you've done, and kind of just why we can look to you as this strategist and take, some information and some advice from you. And then I'll just have you, man, go right into just what should we first and foremost be doing as we try to create a place on social media, but more importantly, specifically, as we try to create a space on Instagram?
Sure, man. I'm from Flint, Michigan, born and raised. I am self-proclaimed your favorite hustler. You know what I mean? I am a serial entrepreneur. I do own my own coffee business. I do own a business with social media. I manage a coffee shop, learning how to do that on somebody else's dime. Right now, I've been saved for a very long time. Grew up in church, but it wasn't until like 9 years ago where I had a run in with God, and I gave him an ultimatum, and he laughed at me. And God being who he is, the greatest optimist, like God will, he's the greatest opportunist. I'm sorry. So he would use our ignorance and pride to actually reach us sometimes, and he had to do that with me. So I love God, man. I love people. As far as like the social media go, I've been doing this for a very long time, but I was in my own way up until probably 2 years ago or a year ago, and where I started to like try and make it a business and make it sustainable. And it's been off and on throughout that time, but now I'm in a space where I know God has gifted me to help people. So when I am able to help people, folks listen to what I share with them, they get the results. So I'm getting people who are, increasing their Instagram reach from having a reach of like 400 to 600 to like 6,000. Right, getting their posts in front of large audiences, people growing their audience and getting followers where they're like averaging 100 a month or more in new organic followers, right? So I'm the person who gets you results, but I do it in a different way. I try to make everything make sense. So I have a common sense approach to social media, and I do things in a way to where if you want it, you can get it, right? So that means you got to do the work. I'll give you the fishing pole. I give you everything you need to do to fish, but I'm not gonna fish for you. I'm not gonna Google for you. I'm not gonna play you stupid like that. If you want to Google something, you can Google. I'm not gonna give you that. So that's a little bit about what I do on that space. But if you really want to tap into Instagram and take over Instagram, the reason why I love that platform because I believe it's the best platform to build relationship. You have a lot of relationship building tools, DM, comments, shares to your stories. You can share people content. You have, Instagram Live where you can, actually have conversations with people spontaneously. It's just a platform that has the best of best opportunities with social media. Other platforms are not so relationship building in nature, in their nuance. So I love Instagram because I believe at the center of growing an audience, growing an online business in 2020, it has to be centered around relationship building. So if you a person who's never had good relationships in real life, you're going to struggle with having good relationships online. So I believe that when you're on the inside shows up through your content. Brethren, I wish above all that you prosper and be in health, even as your soul prospers. So it's a conditional thing where who you are on the inside, like how healthy you are, I think that determines your content. So if you want to blow up on Instagram, man, I tell people like I'm not gonna make you famous. I don't care about you being famous, right? So I don't care about you getting a lot of followers. I don't. God. What I care about is that you become a problem solver. So the bigger the problem you solve, the more money you make. Wow. Take a bottle of water, right? Pour the water out and pour a vaccine for COVID-19 in there. It's just one drop heals everybody who takes it. That is worth how much? $1 billion and billions of dollars, right? So again, if the problem is to put a house out that's on fire, you need to be the best fireman possible, or you're not going to be the person they call. You're not going to be the person people think of and look to. So with Instagram, one of the best things that you can do is really be social on the platform. You really have to give without expecting. See how we make this conversation like circular? Like you have to go out and take the first step. So I have a video on my IGTV where I talk about this thought of being social on social media. And the basic premise is if I ask you to take a selfie with 100 people and exchange contact information, whatever that contact information is, and you got to do it at your local mall once it gets back being operational, you're not going to go in there and just sit in the corner and try and look fly like you holding up a wall, because you're not going to get anybody to do anything for you, right? So you have to now walk up to complete strangers. Hear me, complete strangers, not your cousin, not your cousin's friend that you know of. complete strangers and start sparking a conversation. And the problem is people don't have that skill set because they never had to. Whether you were the prettiest girl in high school or college, you never had to go out and start conversations. People came to you. Or maybe you was a star football player. Or maybe you were so shy that you just never really took the step forward. Or you were just cool with your small little group of friends and that was it. You were happy. So I'm asking you, in that mall situation, it's going to take you 1,500 people to get that 100.
But it's interesting. You made a comment about if you don't have that skill set in real life or in person, it's going to be difficult to translate that online. But I think in a lot of ways people see the two as different. Like I think people think if I'm not as sociable in real life, that's why I'm trying to use social media as a tool for what I can't do in person. But
sure,
you're saying people are mistaken to feel that way.
Exactly. That's a huge mistake. Who you are in person is who you are going to be online. So it's just digital way of doing it. The DM is a phone call in real
life. That's true. The DM is yeah, you're right. Because I was gonna say except people could block your DM or not accept it, but you could do that with a phone call as well.
You feel me? So a live stream, a two people live stream is just we out in the public talking. Wow. We at the coffee shop talking, and people have the opportunity to chime in and listen in if we invite them in.
Wow, yo, the entire mind, just the small mindset shift is like valuable beyond like understanding to me as the way I'm hearing it. Like I'm listening to you right now. I don't think, and correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think yet you've shared some physical like logistic, algorithm secret or thing to do on Instagram yet. But just from what you've shared is already like started my gears and my mind turning like, yo, I should have been or doing this, or I could do this. And that's just another way to just essentially do what it is that I naturally do already in real life.
Exactly. I'm not going to play you out and tell you how to do something that you can learn on Google or YouTube. Right. Yeah. And some of that is to the, like, what I do, man, is I'm not going to necessarily teach you the how to. I will. That's part of my coaching, probably. Like, whatever you feel like you want to go over for 6 weeks, we'll do that. Like, I ain't tripping. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You paying for it, we'll do it. But I'm gonna give you the tools and the principles that's gonna make you successful. And you can YouTube and Google anything else. Here's the problem, and let me give you out some game. If you out here eating free, meaning you consuming free content, you doing all, you know what I mean? Like it's all free. You're not paying nobody to help you. Let me tell you why you're hurting yourself. If you don't know how to implement that content or that information for your specific goals, aspirations, your particular page, you're not going to get the results. You're not. You need somebody to help you implement. So my big thing is change your mindset, help you get, teach you how to be social on social media, change your mindset, or improve your mindset, teach you how you have to become a problem solver instead of becoming famous, give you some focus, some clarity, and then now we can convert all your audience into customers or clients if you want to have an online business. So that's what I do, essentially, in my 6-step, 6-week coaching program, but it's the same principle across the board. Like, I don't have to teach you how to post to IG. You've been doing that. I don't have to teach you how to make a video. You know how to do that. TikTok can help you how to do that. Paying me to teach you how to do something, and you wasting your time.
So you're really showing people how to just you put in one sentence how to be social on social, and simply doing something as rudimentary as that is the way to success. Whatever it is you're trying to do, whether you're trying to be a rapper, whether you're trying to sell candles or artwork on it's really it sounds so simple, but I think it's jarring my mind because it's like, how come I never saw that? Like, how come I never saw it like that? Like, you think you're being social, every time you simply just go on social media. You're like, what do you mean I'm not being social, LV? I am being social. I went on my Facebook, I went on Instagram, I posted a picture of myself, or me hollering at everybody, or I posted my last video, and there, I was social, just like that.
Yeah, but that's not real. That's what you just described as somebody going to the prom by themselves. Number one, they went to the prom by themselves, and they walked in the room. They walked around everybody and left out, and it was like, I went to prom.
Yo, that's crazy.
You didn't dance with nobody. You didn't socialize with nobody. You didn't talk to nobody. You didn't take no selfies. You didn't compliment them on their dress or their suit. You didn't tell them how much you care for them. You didn't ask how they were doing. You didn't ask them how you can help them reach their goals and aspirations. You didn't do anything but say, I showed up. You said it and forget it. You posted it and wish for people to like your page. Man, I put in 30 to 20 minutes before every post I put on and engage with other people's content. After my content, I'm responding to every comment in my comment section. Every comment in my comment section. I'm probably I probably have like a 98, 99%. Rate as far as responding to comments. Then I go find complete strangers who I do not know, and I go compliment them genuinely. Like, yo, give me an example. A young lady I reached out to last night, I felt God led me to. I found her page, and I'm like, yo, she has it. She has the it factor. She just don't know how to put it together. So I offered her a free 1-hour consultation. And she kind of was like, why are you offering this to me? Like, is there something that's attached to it? I'm like, man, I just felt led to reach out to you. And then she revealed that she was praying or asking God or whatever to get help on her social media. And here I come.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So it's like it's not that deep, y'all. I promise you, it's not that deep. So you get with someone like me, even this podcast has been worth listening to. So imagine what you would get if we were to make all this content work for you. Like, how do I make all this make sense but for you? And that's what people pay me for.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm on, man. I'm believing God that, because here's the thing. And I'm gonna drop the mic right here. And this is probably, we can keep talking as you want, but I think this is definitely a good place to end the conversation, unless you got more questions. And you can. And I'm not saying that for time's sake, but I'm just saying that I think it's that dope of a mic drop. You have to love to serve your audience more than you serve your pride and your ego.
Dang. Hold on. I'm a grab. I got a note card over here, index card and a pen. I'm gonna write that down. Hold on. Say it one more time, LV, real slow for the people. Yeah.
You have to love to serve. Keyword, serve. When I serve, it's not about me.
You have to love to serve.
To serve your audience, your community, your family, your wife, your son, your daughter, whoever, more than you love to serve your ego or your pride.
Wow.
That's not my quote. I wish I could take credit for coming up with it. I didn't, but I use it. And
well, whose quote is that? Whose quote is that?
Man, I heard this on a podcast a couple weeks ago, and the podcast was talking about why should people listen to you, and the guy dropped that jewel. And I don't think he said it the exact same way, so it's probably me paraphrasing it. But he was saying you got to love your audience, your podcast audience, more than you love your pride and your ego.
Wow. Yo, that's the most fire. I think that's the mic drop right there. I'm not even gonna ruin it with nothing else. Yo, LV, thank you so much for coming on the show, man. Listen,
anytime.
Could you exit us out, man, and just tell the people one more time who you are and where they can find you, man, on social media, so they could get in touch with you, man, and get a piece of this mentoring and just these jewels, more of these jewels that you got, man. Talk to the people.
Most def, I'm on all platforms, pretty much your boy LV. That's YABOYLV. So it's like my boy, my homie, my friend LV. So your boy LV. I put out a lot of free content, man, that's very valuable. Even the free content can help you start getting results with your social media. I got a podcast coming soon. Also, I have a YouTube channel. So, I'm all over the place. But before I get into me, man, I want to do something real quick. I think this is more important than talking about me. I want everybody who's listening to this podcast, if you made it this far and you found this podcast valuable, like you found this podcast, like you was like, yo, this was worth me listening to, I need you to do me a favor, and I'm asking from the bottom of my heart. I need you to rate this podcast that you're listening to, and I need you to share it with one other person. I need you to send them the link to this episode and say, yo, you need to listen to this, and I don't want you to put it on your social media. I want you to text or email it or share it with someone in person, because sometimes we just throw stuff on social media because we share so much, people don't give it any credit. But I want, if you've been listening so far, it's really not about me. I want you to share this episode, and I want us to make sure that he gets subscribers, that his numbers goes up, because this was all for you, and it wasn't about him or me. You know what I mean? So I wish that you guys would do that. Share this podcast. But again, your boy LV.com, your boy LV Instagram. That's how you can connect with me.
Wow, man. Y'all heard it yourself, LV, man. Thank you again so much. Hey, if you enjoyed this podcast, do exactly just how we said, but make sure you follow us everywhere at Free Lunch. That's FRII, Free Lunch, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Also follow and subscribe on YouTube, youtube.com/TheRealFree. Is Free Lunch with The Real Free. Free food for your soul. Peace.